This, vid- this video will look at meditation mindfulness, how to do it, and what are the benefits of doing mindfulness. In order to understand mindfulness as meditation, we need to have a little bit of understanding about our mind. Not the brain, but the mind. Our mind, our sense of self, tends to be something that is cultivated after we're born. In other words, the mind is conditioned. It's created through education, it's created through interaction with parents, authority figures, religions, education, culture, society, and so on. This creates our sense of self. This sense of self can be called our ego, our identity, whatever word appears to fit. When we feel stressed, it is not the body that feels stressed, of course, unless it is doing something physical, but it is this sense of self that feels threatened. And the moment it feels threatened, it triggers off the flight-fright response system. This sense of self tends to operate on 4 dominant coordinates. In other words, it's either thinking about the future, it's either replaying the past, or it's telling itself a story where it feels it is a victim, or it tells itself a story where it feels it's a hero or heroine. Future planning is part and parcel of being human. However, if we are constantly in future planning, with future comes hope, with hope comes fear. So what tends to happen is, with too much future-orientated thinking, when we stay in that state of mind, we begin to become anxious. What will happen to me tomorrow? What if this happens? What if that happens? On the other hand, if we are too much dominated by our past, then we tend to go, if only I did this, if only this happened. And this tends to lead us towards depression, resentment, anger, especially when we judge ourselves to have done things that we could have done better. If we tell ourselves a story where we are the victim, why does this always happen to me? Why me? Then this also tends to create a sense of state within our mind in which the flight-fright response system is triggered. Very similar to when we are future-orientated, very similar when we are living in the past. And the same is true when we are occupied by self-grandization, arrogance, where we feel we are better than others, where this tends to come out in terms of aggression at times. So these 4 coordinates, future-orientated thinking, past-orientated thinking, victim story or hero-heroine story, all of these 4 have an impact on your sense of self and therefore on your flight-fright response system, which then triggers off the changes within the body, which then impact our immunity and our health. So, meditation. What is meditation? So, meditation is when we become present. And before we get into meditation, there are 3 things that we need to consider. Number 1, intention. Number 2, attention. Number 3, attitude. Intention. What is it that I wish to do? What you wish to do is simply become present to what's going on in your life in this moment. So we're not thinking about what's happening, we become present to our experience of life in this moment. Intention. Attention. How are we going to do this? We are going to do this in several ways. By focusing our attention on things that are happening in the present moment, we become present. So what are the things that are happening in the present moment? The first is that we breathe in the present moment. Simply by bringing your focus just beneath your nose, you can focus on your breath. This breath that you're taking is a once in a lifetime event. It doesn't repeat. So, by bringing our focus to this moment, this breath, we are able to step out of future orientated or past orientated thinking. The second thing that we can focus on is the sensations in our body. Sensations that are taking place within our body can only take place in the present moment. So, by focusing on the body's sensations, we again become present. The third way that we can become present is by listening to the sounds and the noises around us. It's not about seeking the sounds out. It's not about looking for the sounds. It's not judging them or commenting on them. It is simply listening. So meditation is very simple. It is focusing on that which is happening in the present moment. And the third thing, intention, attention, and the last thing was attitude. And the attitude is always non-judgmental. So how do we achieve non-judgmental attitude? Simple, with a smile. So when we sit in meditation, we sit with the intention, we know where we're going to focus our attention, and by adopting a non-judgmental attitude, we are able to become present without judgment.